The new version of the Flying Frog comes with a radio that lets you use it with flight simulators. That's a great idea. Since this is made for beginners, it'll let you take it to the next level by practicing using that control. I can't wait to see how it works. Yes, my new Flying Frog is here. First, I'm gonna get out the radio and just test out the simulator. I'll worry about flying it later. Okay, I've got Freerider, I've got the manual ready to go. Now let's see what the instructions say. Support Freerider Simulator wireless control function. Okay, well that sounds cool. That must be a new feature since I got it a couple years ago. Let's see, where are the instructions? Does it tell me how to do that? Nowhere, that's where. Hello drone racers, this is the brand new Eachine Q90C Flying Frog. It's an update of the old Flying Frog that we had that I reviewed quite a while ago when it was on clearance and super cheap. This one isn't as cheap, but it's still not very expensive since it comes with a radio and you can get a goggle option. I don't have the goggle option here because it's the same one I've already reviewed. I've got that, but we're not going to cover any of that today. What we're going to do today is show you how the radio works with FPV Freerider or really any other simulator that you want to do. The instructions for this are really terrible. All they show is it works with a wireless function, but there's no such thing really as FPV Freerider wireless function. But once you know how to do it, it's really easy to do. It actually shows you how to do this on the Banggood website where they have all the images, but I didn't see it the first time, so I'm assuming some of you aren't going to see it either and are going to come to YouTube looking for instructions. So the radio doesn't connect directly to your computer itself. It's actually really simple what you have to do. First, what you have to do is take your Flying Frog and plug it into a USB cable. Ironically, this one doesn't come with a USB cable, even though it's probably the one you need it with the most. I usually make fun of them for including USB cables, but you need this and you need to connect it to USB. So that will power this on. Then turn on your radio and they will link and bind automatically. So then you'll hold down the game button and hold it down until it beeps. So my computer just beeped. What it did is it's loading the drivers for the USB control for the Flying Frog. And then it will just add it as a USB device. So then your radio is connected to the Flying Frog. And in FPV Freerider, which I will leave a link down below for FPV Freerider, you can download the free version or you can use any simulator that you want. I've actually got a licensed version of the old version. This is what I used to fly and practice with. And then you go into Calibrate Controller. And now you'll see the little lights there move with the stick because I'm connected to the Flying Frog and it's transmitting my signals through the USB. It's actually brilliant. I'm surprised nobody's done this before. Nobody's done this before that I know of. From here, then you just calibrate your sticks, get this centered, and then calibrate each of the sticks in the software, just following the instructions. From here, you basically just follow the on-screen instructions. And then it will tell the controller which stick all your sticks are and which way they need to go and how you're set up. So then you can go in and you can go and practice flying. Now this computer is not appropriate for this. It's not quite fast enough. So you might need a little bit of a quick computer. I can't actually practice this very well on here at all because I can't see it. But on my computer upstairs that has a little more oomph, I can go and practice, and I used to do a lot of flying with this. But the sticks controls work just fine. So I did test this, and I tested it with Velocidrone. It works just fine with the Velocidrone also. There's not really a noticeable latency that I noticed, so it works pretty well. Now you can start flying with your Flying Frog and learn to fly on it. It's a brushed quadcopter that I haven't flown yet. We'll try that later. But then while you're at it, you can use your radio to start practicing. These gimbals aren't great. They're not terrible though. They're pretty smooth just for the feel of it. So if you order it just for this, it's actually not a terrible deal. It's $60-ish just to be able to have this and have a simulator controller. It's got a nice feel on the back and wrap around, and it's pretty big. The sticks are nice and long. So for a simulator controller, it's not half bad. And then you get a drone to go along with it. From here, you could use FPV Freerider, Velocidrone, the DRL simulator's free, and it should work for that also. You're probably not going to be winning that competition with this controller, but hey, it works. So that's it. I hope somebody found this useful who was struggling trying to get the controller working with their computer. If you did, leave a like down below and comment with what you think of the Flying Frog. I haven't flown it yet. And until next time, remember, just one mention saying plug the frog into USB as a step in the instructions would have been handy.